Please give a round of applause for Brother Thomas King.
Well, thank you all for coming out here today. It's real fun to see everybody having so much fun here at Honuapo, which is a place that's really close to my heart and close to my home. I live here at Honuapo, and the story I'm going to tell is about a kiawe tree, a really big kind of kiawe tree that was growing right out here at the entrance to the park many years ago. I think it was 18 years ago that I found this tree had been knocked over in a big storm, and when I got here I had ridden my bicycle down the hill, and the road maintenance guys had already cut all of the branches, and they pushed the tree off of the side of the road into the bushes and just left it there. And when I came, it was probably maybe a few days after that had happened, because already the small branches and all the sticks and everything were already gone. People had come and collected those. But the tree itself, when you look at from the root ball to the first branches, was 19 feet. And then the branches were like, couldn't even wrap your arm around them. So I think the tree, the trunk of the tree was like 40 inches in diameter. The biggest kiawe tree I had ever seen. And I came down here on my bicycle and I saw this and I thought, oh, I'm a woodworker. I would love to have the wood off of that. And I talked to my friends that were woodworkers, and they just looked at me and they go, you're crazy. You don't want to mess with the kiawe wood. It's too hard. You can't do anything with it. It's going to ruin your tools. And everybody tried to discourage me from going after this tree. And I was discouraged. And also I know that even if something is free, because it's laying on the side of the road, it's not free. When you think of all the work that has to go into collecting something like that, and so it's a lot of work. And I would come down every once in a while to the park, and I would see it there, and I would think, oh, I want to get this. I really want to get this. And my friends would go, you're crazy. You don't even want to mess around with this. And this went on for several years, and my house is not far away, so every time I would hear a chainsaw, I would think, oh, somebody's going after that tree, and I was going to lose this tree. And I would come down there and I wouldn't find anybody there, but sometimes you would see chainsaw marks on the side of the tree where somebody had tried to cut it, just like it was too hard on their chainsaw. And this went on for 10 years, I think it was. And then finally, I just thought, I heard the chainsaw, and I rode my bicycle down here, and there's the county road crew guys on the road coming into the park. Have any interest in this tree, or would it be okay if I came and took this tree away? And most of them, they go, what tree? They didn't even know there was a tree there, because the grass had grown up over it and it was all covered in the weeds on the side of the road, right out here by where the underpass is, by the entrance to Honuapo Park. And so they said, go ahead and take the tree if you want the tree. But they kind of looked at me like, you must be crazy. You're going to go after this tree. And so I finally talked to my friend, who was also a logger and a lumber worker, and he said the same thing. He goes, you're crazy. You don't want to go after this. So much work. But I talked him into helping me out so that we could take the tree and we'd cut it up. And we cut it up into some smaller logs, and we loaded it onto the back of a trailer and took it to Hilo, where there was a sawmill that could cut it up into lumber for us. And the story was, I got all of the lumber out of that, and just like my friends had told me, that a lot of work, and out of the whole tree, I got 4 boards. And the rest was all small kind stuff, little things that would be good for small projects, or, you know, any kind of arts and crafts, little things like that. But the wood was really hard. And I make things out of it every once in a while, and I still have most of the tree left, but I got 4 boards out of a 19-foot log. And that's because the kiawe wood grows and it has ingrown bark pockets. If you ever look at the way the trees are, it's hard to get clean and clear lumber out of it. So out of that tree, I got 4 boards that are 9 inches wide and 1 inch thick and 9 feet long, without any defects on them. It's just perfectly pure, beautiful kiawe wood. And that's sort of the story, but the end of the story, I will say, because they're going to dock me points if I go over 5 minutes, is inside the silent auction here, there's a box that I made out of that wood. And anybody that is interested in seeing the wood, the kiabi wood, would like to see what it looks like, go in and look at the silent auction and perhaps even make a bid on the box to do something to support the Ohana O Honuapo, which are the people that are helping this community come together with all this aloha to make this event right here. So we want to support the Ohana O Honuapo to keep these kind of events happening and continue to improve the parkland here in Ka'u and at Honuapo. And thank you for listening to my story.